What's going on, everybody? Today is August 1st, opening day for the Buoy 10 fishery, and it is late. It is after 5 o'clock, almost 6 p.m., and that's because I've been running around answering emails, phone calls, the usual stuff, but more importantly, working on the boat, getting it refueled, tying up gear, making phone calls, getting all set and ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow we have a little bit of a tournament that's a little group of employees that all come together each year and have a really neat, fun tournament. So today was a pre-fish day. Tomorrow, all the chips are on the table. So what happened here today? Well, went out in the ocean like I mentioned yesterday in the update, and we found them again pretty much straight out from the lighthouse, just anywhere north of the green line. You don't have to go too far north, but the further north you get, the more you get away from the fleet, and there were a lot of boats out there today. I think the reason why most folks were out there in the ocean today is just because of the uncertainty of the opener. You just don't have any intel. You have no information. So where do you start? Where do you fish? What do you use? Nobody knows yet because it's been closed. So most folks went out into the ocean, but my guess is that tomorrow there's gonna be a lot more people here in the river. And I might be one of them, because the reports that we got from the river were decent, not unreal, not epic, but they were good enough to keep you interested. And that could be, so I'm kind of torn. I'm a little bit, I don't know. I don't entirely know what to do here, because one of two things is true. Either one, there's a lot of Chinook in the river and tomorrow could be a really good day, or two, all the fish that were in the river the biters got picked off really quick because they haven't seen any gear for the few days that they've been in here. We've been having dropping tides, and so those fish came in over the last several days, and now they're staging up in this warmer water here in the estuary before they push on upriver in about 4 or 5 days when the tides start to grow. So right now those fish are all staged up, and there really aren't too many new fish coming in right now. So that group of fish that people were catching today, are they going to keep biting tomorrow? Was it just a few of them? Did most of them get caught? What's going to happen? So that is the conundrum that we're all dealing with. For the river report, they caught them pretty much from, I had a client hit me up and say that he had a double down by Checkerboard first thing in the morning. I know guys were catching them up above the bridge today too. The typical stuff on the Algo tide, Church Hole down to Ilwaco. It was not, like I mentioned, it was not a red hot bite in any one place, but it was enough that I'm considering staying in the river. And that's partly because of the tournament that we're doing, where it's your biggest 3 fish. The most weight between those 3 fish is the winner. And that means kings, that means big kings, and kings that want to bite. And they're out in the ocean for sure, but there was so much pressure. I don't know why this is, but it seems like when there's a lot of pressure on the kings in shallow water out in the ocean, they kind of shut down quick, and they're harder to catch if you aren't there first thing. But here in the river, they just keep snapping. Maybe it's the tidal fluctuation, the current constantly changing, just fires them up again, and they keep biting. So who knows? I haven't been able to ask them yet. Weird. Well, see, I mentioned the ocean. I heard the CR was good. I was pretty much straight out from the lighthouse. We tried north, we tried in close. You just had to be, anytime you found the fish, they may not have always bit, but they eventually would. So you just got to stay on them until they decided to snap. They were definitely being a bit more lethargic today than from what I heard before I got down here, and even from yesterday when I was out there. Well, I think what I might do, that's another thing that happened today. A couple things. See, it's all coming back to me. It's all clicking. So, first of all, big Jared fished me. That's freaking awesome. I love it when you got your buddies come out and be deckhands. That was great. So I started out with 2 of the Mulkey blades out in the ocean, 2 Yakima bait cut plugs, and 2 YBC spinning fish. And I just wanted to try all 3 of them, see which one was producing. Yesterday my spinners did really good, and my Misty River spin fish was killing it. Today, spin fish did okay, spinners sucked, and the cut plugs were just ripping and tearing. Man, they were getting it. They were getting after it. And that put most of the fish to our boat was the YBC cut plugs. We were getting them on the 2.5 and the 3.0 and touchdown and smoke jumper. Those were our best colors. Didn't matter if they have a hoochie or not. I'm actually getting a lot of questions on how to rig them. So actually, let's do that. Let's go through a whole rigging here. We'll go rod, reel, line, all that fun stuff. So that way you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm trying out a couple new things here. But I'll jump more into it for the river fishing because it's definitely different than how we're fishing out here in the ocean. But I'll just hit a couple of the highlights here real quick so I'm not chewing up too much time. So let's do it. Let's see. All right, so there's the smoke jumper right here, a little 2.5. And then what I'm doing for the rigging, this is one of the main questions that we always get about these cut plugs, is I take some tubing, a small little piece of tubing here, and this is that Fishfield noose hook setup that is just awesome. It's 2 aughts, and all you have to do is tie one single knot at the top hook right here, and that's it. There's an 80-pound braid between the 2 hooks, and you don't have to do anything but just tie that one knot. And if you need to replace it, you don't have to replace the entire rig, just cut it off, tie on a brand new noose rig. These things are awesome. I bought all of them. And 1-aught, 2-aught, and 3-aught. Yep, they're awesome. So on the 2.5s run 2-aught, and then on the 3.0 cut plugs I'm running the 3-aughts. And then, so like I said, I just put a little bit of tubing right here on top of the knot, just kind of protecting the knot a little bit. And then I run 4 of these. Let's see if I can get it there close enough. I run 4 of these little beads here. I believe they're 3mm. It's my bearing bead that I also use in my spinners. And I got 1 inside the tubing and then 3 right here. And what that does is it puts that hook perfectly. Let's see if I can get it here. Come on, camera. It puts this top hook pretty much perfectly at the back end of the cut plug, and then that other hook is trailing. Now we had it both with hoochies and not hoochies, didn't seem to much matter. That's a smoke jumper. I think I got, let's see, where was it? There it is. Here's the one here. This one had a hoochie on it. This is a 3.0, and that one's the touchdown. That one was getting bit quite a bit today too. So there you go. A couple other things here. I am this year going to try a 3-way swivel, and that is because I am not a huge fan of all those sliders anymore. They keep chafing up my line, and I have to retie this knot every handful of days because no matter what brand of slider you use, it just is constantly chafing it. But this little piece right here, whether you run sliders or not, that is the gum pucky from Fishfield. These are actually designed to have a hoochie go over top to flare out the tentacles. But what this does is when you reel in, you get guys that get really excited. This is rubber, and this stops at your top eyelet on your rod, all the way up there. That stops at that top eyelet, and this guy will protect that top eyelet. It protects your knot. You don't pop eyelets out anymore. This is probably one of my favorite things in my rig, just because it protects my knot and it protects my fishing poles. But again, I'm going to try this 3-way swivel. You know, for the most part, we run sliders to try and keep the if we get the lead ball stuck into the net, so that slider, when the fish runs, it doesn't break the leader. But I'm kind of thinking, and I could be wrong, I could regret this, but that lead is about 4 feet or more away from my hooks. If my net jobs are so bad that I'm getting that lead into the net when the fish is 4 feet away, then I kind of deserve to lose that fish. So there's that. I'll go through bumpers later on here in the season, maybe the next couple of days, and fish in the river. I got a couple of systems for that, but that is pretty much our rigging for the ocean, what we've been running out there. Like I said, that cut plug was definitely it. So tomorrow, what to do now tomorrow? And I don't entirely know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-rig all my rods up for Chinook tomorrow if we go in the ocean. So I'm going to put on a lot of cut plugs and spin fish for stuffer baits. And then for the river, because I got a different set of rods for the river, I'm going to set up a ton of rods with spinners, with blades. And that's because the water's warm. And in my little pea brain, I think in hot water, these fish key in on blades a little bit more than stuffer baits or even anchovies or herring. So I'm going to have my river rods set up with blades, my ocean rods set up with stuff baits, the YBC cut plug and the spinning fish. We'll see. That's part of the fun. We're not going to make a decision until 5:30 in the morning, and when we do, it's going to be full send, because you can't really do one and then the other. You kind of have to commit. So hopefully we choose right and we win the tournament. Oh man, the joys of being a guide. Okay, I have about an hour's worth of rigging to do to get the river rods ready and re-rig the ocean setups. It's already almost 6 o'clock. Sorry for the late update, but I can't wait to tell you guys how tomorrow goes and fill you in on what worked and what didn't, because it's going to be a fun one. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.